Hola y bienvenidos a Sex in Spanglish, where we empower mujeres to get in touch with their bodies, own their pleasure, and where we discuss all the cochinadas our abuelas didn't tell us about. Hi all, my name is Ana. I'm a certified sex coach, proud Latina, and your go-to guide for all things sex. I'm here to help you break free from the cultural expectations that are holding you back from being the confident lover and mujer you've always dreamed of being. Let's be real. La comunidad latina doesn't talk about sex. Pero qué suerte tienes, because this Latina does, and I do it in Spanglish. It is my vision to have Latinas worldwide discussing sex with one another, just like we do with chisme. Join me every week to hear me discuss todas las cochinadas sin vergüenza.
You know what really grinds my gears?
When women tell me that they need to work with me or that they want to work with me, but they don't have the time. I am a firm believer that you make time for what you want. So we all do this, right? First of all, time, there's always enough time, right? It's a social construct. Like man created time. It's just there. It exists. And we decide what we want to do with that time. So a majority of us, I would say, we make time to go to the bathroom. We make time to shower. We make time to brush our teeth, get ready for bed, or get ready for our day. We make time to work, if that's a thing. We make time for our kids. We make time for a lot of things. It's not just there for us. We don't have like this designated amount of time that's gifted to us that we have, for our kids, for work, whatever else we got to do. We make time for what we want to make time for. So I'm not telling you that you have to make time to work with me. But what pisses me off about this is that means like you're telling me I don't have enough time for this. I don't have enough time to dedicate 1 hour a week to myself on something that I really want to work on. In their words, right? They're saying that they really want to do this. It's a necessity for them. They need to do this. But yet somehow they, quote unquote, don't have the time. If you don't have an hour to yourself once a week, there's something going on there, right? Why is it that you don't have an hour a week, not even a day, a week to yourself? This is super important. So I require that my clients commit 1 hour a week minimum, right? That's in a session with me where we go over what's going on with them, talking about things that are impacting their sex life, talking about their sex life, and how that's impacting, outside of the bedroom. So that's the bare minimum. Now, there are home assignments that I send out, right? And most of my clients do those. Maybe not, 100%, but they do a majority of them. And that's great, right? The more home assignments that you do and the more dedicated you are, the bigger and better results you will get. But my clients even get results just by that 1 hour a week to, working with me in session, face to face. And why is this important? Even if you don't work with me, which I think everyone should, but that's neither here nor there. Even if you don't work with me, it is so important that you're taking time for yourself, whether that's to do a hobby, to scroll on social media mindlessly, to binge some Netflix, to have sex, like whatever that is, you need time for yourself. That you're not time that just happens to you, time that you're intentionally choosing. I talk to my partner about this all the time, right? Like, so we live together and I'm like, oh, we should go on a date. He's like, well, why would we, we've been spending the whole day together. I'm like, yeah, but we just happen to be home at the same time, right? That's entirely different than intentional time. So what I'm asking you to do is to start creating intentional time for yourself. Maybe an hour a week is too much to start out. Maybe you do 5 minutes a week, 1 day a week. And that sounds like nothing, but right now, if you're not setting any intentional time, you really want to start small. Maybe it's 5 minutes in the morning, before you get out of bed. And you're just like, okay, I'm going to sit here for 5 minutes, gather my thoughts, right? Whatever it is that you want to do during that time, that's your decision. But it's super important to look at why you don't have that time. Why don't you have an hour a week to yourself? What is holding you back? We're taught, we're socialized, right? We're taught as women to take care of everybody else first. And then we can take care of ourselves. If there's time left over, we'll take care of ourselves. The problem with that is there's never time left over. There's always something else you could be doing. So I'm a student and I'm also a business owner. So if I said, I'm going to get the leftover time, right? After I do my homework, after I work on my business, whatever, I'm going to take time to myself. I would never have time to myself. And here's why. There's a running to-do list that I have, and I'm sure you have one as well, of things that you would like to, quote unquote, get done, right? Like I've been wanting to deep clean my kitchen for I don't know how long. Right? There are projects around the house that I want to do. There are books that I want to read, right? And I read frequently, but there are other books, there are more books, right, that I want to read. There are things that I want to do, trips that I want to take, right? Errands I want to run that I've been putting off. And so if I have free time and I'm not intentional about it, I will do those things because I'm like, oh, they have to get done. Do they though? They don't have to get done. I want to get them done. I want to deep clean my kitchen. I want to make that return at Joann's Fabrics that I've had for I don't know how long now. I probably can't even return it now. But the thing is that if we're not intentional about our time, then it's never going to happen. And that's what really pisses me off. Because we're taught that this is how it's supposed to be. But it's not. Why is it that our children, our loved ones, everyone else in our life gets intentional time but ourselves? That makes absolutely no sense to me. And maybe it makes sense to you, and that's totally fine. But it just doesn't sit well with me. We hear a lot, especially like self-care, that's like a huge thing now, right? And we hear often that we can't give from an empty cup. So if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of others. And I agree. As someone that worked as a caregiver, yes, I totally understand that. Like you need time to yourself in order to better care for others, whether that be an adult, kids, other people in your life. Yeah, that's totally true. You do need to take care of yourself first. But the problem is that creates the idea, right, that we take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others. Why are we not taking care of ourselves just because we deserve to take care of ourselves? We deserve to be taken care of, right? Whether it be by ourselves or someone else. You don't hear men walking around like, oh, I gotta go take a nap so that I can take care of my wife and kids. No, they take a nap because they want to fucking take a nap. So start taking care of yourself because you deserve to be taken care of. So whether that means you're taking a nap or reading a book, going for a walk, whatever the fuck you want to do, I don't care. It really doesn't matter. But start making that intentional time for yourself. Because by not doing that, you're subconsciously sending this message to your body, to your brain, that you don't matter. And then you wonder why your life's a shit show. So I'm not saying that all your lives are a shit show, but I imagine there are places in your life where you're like, fuck, like this things don't go right or they're not going right. And that might be why. I think a lot of times our, quote unquote issues or our problems stem from this lack of caring for ourselves. And our sex lives included, right? Our bodies don't look the way that we want them to, or we're not comfortable in our bodies. And it doesn't matter what your body looks like. It all goes back to like your thoughts about yourself and your self-worth. And if you're not taking care of yourself, you're sending this message, non-verbally, you're sending this message to your body that it doesn't matter. So then your body responds with like pain and, all these other things, right? Your body isn't happy, but it's because you're not taking care of it. How much water have you drank today? How much rest are you getting? How much downtime are you taking? Right? This isn't about, the typical self-care that you see on social media where you're going to get a pedicure and, a spa day or whatever. And that's fine and dandy. If you want to do that, that's cool. But just because you went to go get a pedicure doesn't mean that you've intentionally taken time for yourself. And it's all about how you approach it, right? So spend some time this week taking care of yourself. And not because it's going to make you a better mom, wife, partner, friend, daughter, whatever. Because you deserve it. Your sex life counts on it. I'll see y'all next week.
If you'd like a question answered on the podcast, send me an email at sexandspanglish@gmail.com. And if you like what you heard today and are interested in getting a personalized pleasure plan, head to the show notes to get access to my calendar. As a Latino certified sex coach, I help you navigate your culture and your sexuality sin vergüenza. You won't find this anywhere else. Join me every week to hear me talk about orgasms, STIs, birth control, and all the other cochinadas your abuela didn't tell you about. Until then, be sure to follow me on Instagram at @SexandSpanglish for weekly topics and updates. And if you want chisme before anyone else and early access to freebies, be sure to sign up for my email list. Simply head to my Linktree located in the bio on my Instagram and click on Email Me the Chisme. Instagram is where you'll find me discussing sex and my other passions, food, social justice, y Latinidad. It's also where you can access my Facebook and TikTok accounts. Make sure to follow me and leave me a comment on my social media platforms to let me know you heard this. Espero verlas pronto!